Gail in Seattle. Hey, Gail, what's on your mind today?
Hi, Thom. One of the many things I'm concerned about is the brazen United States support for the apparent coup in Venezuela. And I would have liked to have asked Bernie this, but I'll ask you. Do you think there would be support in Congress for a resolution of non-intervention in Venezuela?
I doubt most Americans are paying any attention to it. So, no, I would guess that probably there isn't, although there certainly should be. Or at least there's not enough public support, there's not enough public pressure that's probably going to happen. But you do have some good members of Congress, including some Republicans like Justin Amash and others, who are very, very skeptical of U.S. involvement in foreign entanglements, who take seriously George Washington's farewell address and would say no. And I would hope that they prevail. We'll have to keep an eye on it. Gail, thanks for the call. Norma in Montgomery, Alabama. Hey, Norma, what's on your mind today?
Hi, Dr. Thom. One of the things that's been bothering me about this shutdown is this long-range plan to get rid of federal employees, permanently salaried federal employees.
Yeah, this is what Bernie and I were talking about in the last hour.
Well, I didn't wake up in time.
Okay. Well, I said, I asked him right up front. I said, I'm seeing in the right-wing media and these right-wing websites and whatnot, I am seeing commentators saying that, what Donald Trump is doing by shutting down the government is exactly what needs to be done. We're more than a month into this, 1/12 of the year without the federal government basically functioning, and the world has not ended. And this is proof that we can cut the government in half or even smaller, and which they've been advocating since the 30s. And
well, if you take away salaried employees, this also affects their credit rating. First of all, they can lose their houses, and we have another credit housing crisis.
Well, you've got FBI agents all over the country who are losing their security clearances because they're not making their mortgage payments.
That's right. And you see, this is the same thing that if you get rid of salaried employees in one field in the middle class, and then you get rid of another one, eventually there will not be a middle class in the United States.
That's right.
This is what they're trying to do with the post office. Are people adding up what they'd have to pay the post office to get their mail? That would take about $7 million a month. Wait a minute, let me check my figures. That would take about $7 billion a month. $7 million a month out of the country for people to have paid a private company to have their mail delivered.
Yeah.
And if you look at what has been done with the health insurance, that is the one that's taking the $7 billion a month out of the country.
Yep.
And so if this continues on and you only have the rich, then we have the rich and the poor only, no middle class, the country fails completely. And I don't know what you're seeing, but I'm seeing a lot of angry people. I am doing my best to keep people from posting guillotines, the gallows, the firing squads, the pitchforks. And now the one I'm trying to say, please don't post, is eat the rich. And how much soup can you make out of the 26 billionaires?
Well, Wilbur Ross really had, how much soup can you make? That's a good one. Wilbur Ross really had a Marie Antoinette moment yesterday. Both him and Larry Kudlow, coming out and saying, or Larry Kramer, no, it's Kudlow, Kramer's the other guy. Saying that Kramer was saying, well, these people who are showing up for work without pay are doing so because they're so loyal to Donald Trump. And then, Wilbur Ross saying, well, I don't understand why they can't just ask Daddy for a loan or go to the bank. And then Donald Trump comes on TV and says, well, if these federal employees just go to the supermarket will work with them. And I don't think anybody told Safeway that, Norma.
Well, I don't think anybody's told Publix down here either. But if you have people who are now saying, eat the rich, and figuring out how much soup you can make every day out of these 600 families that are so filthy rich, and you have a group that is really angry, and I can't keep these people calm. I'm just one little old woman down here in the South.
Well, I think we're on the edge of a revolution here, Norma. I don't think it's going to be a shooting revolution, but I think we're on the edge of a serious political revolution.
Well, I am afraid of these people getting on the street, because if they go out and they riot and they have shooting the way they've had in Venezuela, and France 24 did a much better piece on how many people have been killed, how many have been arrested.
Right.
But if we have people in the streets, our so-called president would, that thing in the White House,
right, he'd declare a state of emergency. Yeah, you're right. Norma, I'm sorry we're out of time, but all great points. It's always great to hear from you, Norma. Thank you.